are you doing today?
I'm good. And yourself?
Good, thank you. Did you have any problems finding a place today?
No, actually the directions were great.
Okay, well, welcome to Facebook Inc.
Thank you.
Okay. So do you know anything about our company?
Well, I have had an opportunity to watch the movie Social Networking, and I know that most of that was probably fictional, but it gave me a good idea of how the company started and some of the challenges you face.
Oh, okay. So you know Facebook is a social network, right?
That's correct.
Okay, yeah. And it started in February 2004. Okay. And today, as of 2011, we have about 8 million active users.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
growing.
And it was started by Mark Zuckerberg. Yes. Okay. Okay. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, I am in technical recruiting. I've been in that field for at least 5 to 6 years.
Oh.
I studied computer science initially and then moved into business information systems. And from that, I began doing technical recruiting and dealing with technical resources.
Yeah, looking at your resume, it seems like you've got a lot of experience under your belt. Okay. So how did you hear about this job position?
Well, I was using a website called Indeed, and basically what it does is it looks for all positions throughout the Bay Area. And you type in the criteria that you're looking for. In my case, it was recruiting or technical recruiting. And then it brings back all the positions that are available in the Bay Area.
Okay. So I know you mentioned you have a lot of experience in training, but can you tell me why you would be of benefit to our company?
Well, I've been working, like I said earlier, I've been working in technical recruiting for the last 5 to 6 years. And primarily my work has been in the Bay Area, although periodically I have had to source and hire candidates out of state. So I have a good feeling for the people that are in the area, and because it's Silicon Valley, the Valley, there's a lot of technical people in the area. I've placed a lot of people in this area before.
Very good. Okay. So I see in your resume that you said that you have a lot of experience with collaborating with social managers, senior managers, directors, and business consultants.
That's correct.
Can you describe a time where you worked successfully as part of a team with your senior managers and business consultants?
Okay. I was working on a project for AT&T, at which point they were looking for technical support specialists to support one of their new DSL lines. And in that particular position, we would speak with the hiring managers on the various different shifts to understand what their challenges were, as well as some of the things that they looked for in their employees. And so based on that, we then developed job descriptions and what our search criteria might be, and then we were able to fill positions as such.
Very interesting. Okay, so can you describe a time where you had to analyze information and make a recommendation?
Yes. There was an opportunity when the telephone company was going on strike, and we had to replace those employees, those collective bargaining employees for the strike. It was scheduled to last for 4 days, but we had to fully staff the company because all of the bargained employees were no longer available to us. And we had to decide, I had to decide what criteria we would use to bring in ex-employees or employees from other companies that had the experience. And so it required a lot of analysis, in terms of who was capable of doing what and what positions were interchangeable, and then put together a schematic to fill those jobs.
Wow, that sounds like a tough situation.
Yeah, especially because they only stayed employed for 4 days and the strike was over. And so we did a lot of work over a 2-week period for 4 days. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, can you tell me why you've chosen to be a technical consultant?
Well, recruiting is almost like problem solving, and that is one of my interests. I like things that are unsettled and trying to find a way to put it on track again or smooth. Helping people find positions also intrigues me. Generally, when you're looking for work, you have a lot of stress in terms of family, feeding the kids, paying mortgages, and I tend to like the rewards that come, the natural rewards that come from being successful and helping people go on with their lives.
Great. Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about your interests and hobbies, since this is, as you know from your previous experience, a very stressful job.
It is, indeed it is, especially when you're looking for candidates and you can't find them.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I like to do is listen to music, go to concerts. I also was an athlete when I was in college, and so I like playing ball and sports and going to football games. And more recently, I've taken up biking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How's that?
It's tough, especially because it works the whole body.
Yes, definitely, especially your legs. Okay, so if you was hired today, what would your availability look like?
I could start this position in 2 weeks.
Okay. What do you think your schedule would look like? Can you work Monday through Sunday, or how?
Well, I'm pretty flexible. I can work an early morning shift. Really depends on the consultants that I'm going to be searching for. I like to work a shift when they're available to talk about themselves, and mostly the people that you want to place are the people that are currently working. And so 8 to 5 tend to be a little difficult sometimes, because if they're employed and they're working, then they don't speak as freely about their wants and their needs. And so sometimes you have to adjust to a later shift after 5, or sometimes you have to catch them in the morning before they go to work.
Yeah, this position definitely calls for a flexible schedule.
And recruiting, that's the norm in recruiting. You work when they're available, because placing people is really the most important part.
Okay, well, that concludes the question I have for you. Do you have any questions for me?
Let me think. Yeah, I do. In this position, how soon are you going to be making a decision?
Well, we have about 49 candidates right now that are very qualified for a position. But I think within the next 2 weeks, because we have like 10 more candidates to interview, we will have a decision made, and probably by like 2.5 weeks we'll contact you.
Okay. And is this a position, a brand new position, or are you in this case replacing someone from nutrition?
We're actually, it's not a brand new position. We're actually replacing one of our lovely employees, Anna, because she just recently had her baby, so she's taking maternity leave, and we need somebody to take her position over as soon as possible.
Now, is this temporarily, or is this going to be?
It's going to be for long term.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that's fine.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mary.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
Pleasure
I'm
meeting you as
very
well.
interested in your company, and I'd love to come and work for you.
Okay. See you soon.